The college planning office is trying to find the right fit for that student in 13th grade, right? Whatever that's going to be. So for some of our kids, the majority of them, it's a 4-year college, right? And we're getting them ready to find that right spot. But it's not the right fit for every student. So, we've had kids leave here to, I'm thinking of an alum from a few years back who worked in his father's family business, and even as a young guy, a freshman, he was doing that. It's what he wanted to do. It's what he's doing probably right now at this hour, and he's really good at it. And that's what he was called to do, and we helped him to achieve that goal. So, for most kids, it's the 4-year school path, but we really want to help them find out what their potential is, what gifts and abilities God has blessed them with, and how that can be best used to serve the world, honestly. We start right away helping them to see the big picture, that these are now grades of record. You're going to get a transcript at the end of these 4 years, but talk about some of their strengths and abilities as well, honors classes that we offer freshman year. And kind of get them lined up for a schedule that'll help them to be successful in that first year. In addition to that, in freshman seminar, they start taking interest inventories, learn a little bit about different gifts and abilities that they have that might line up with the career in the future. It's not a lot of pressure because they need to figure out high school first, but helping them to see this is part of a much longer path that you're on now, and there's an end game in 4 years and it will be here quickly. And to make sure they start to learn about who's God has made them to be. There's one-on-one mentoring with faculty and staff outside of the college planning office, as well as, we start to see certain talents that kids have and abilities, and help introduce them to some careers that could be a good fit for them. There are group meetings all along the 4 years with kind of different goals in mind to help them through the college application process. And after kids take the PSAT, which they take sophomore and junior year, there's a one-on-one meeting in that case to go over individual results and to target areas where they need to improve a little bit and help them to use something like Khan Academy or other tools to do test prep to get them ready for the SAT. And the group meetings often, it's what is the college application process, what do college visits look like, when should I do them? These also include parents, or separately have separate meetings for parents on financing college, all of those questions, especially for parents that are first-timers, right? That first kid going to college, it's a daunting process. And having gone through it myself as a parent here, even though I work here and had a fairly good grasp of it, going to those meetings as a dad was a little bit different and really, really helpful in helping both my daughter and my son first of all, find college that was a good fit for them, but also figuring out the financial piece of it. We do require 50 hours of community service because school isn't just about the grades and the numbers, it's about giving back to your own school community or the wider community as well. And that's also a great way for them to find out what they're good at and what they're passionate about in life. And it can be a combination of service to PCA. For example, we have kids doing mail runs every day or helping with recycling and cleaning up and all that kind of thing. And hours outside of PCA in their community. We really encourage them to find a thing that's a lifelong service for them. We've had thinking about kids that have worked in hospitals. We've had kids find careers that way, that volunteer their time at a hospital and went off into a medical field later. One of our graduates this year is on that track. Animal shelters, things in their churches. We've had kids that were really into sound production and that sort of thing. Matt Corso, I'm thinking of, that did a lot of work with his church. Did it here at PCA as well, and it's become a career for him at this point while he's in college and probably after he's done as well. So I think when community service is working well, like exercise, you're finding a lifelong thing that you can do. And it becomes more than just checking off the box of I completed my 50 and I'm done. One of the first questions I ask when a recent grad comes back, let's say during Thanksgiving break or whatever, were you ready? And for the most part, academically, absolutely. Writing-wise, particularly. I know I'm an English teacher, so I'm a little bit biased towards that one, but socially as well, ready for that challenge of college. Being on their own, making good decisions. I mean, they're still young people. Not every one of them makes great decisions every day, but overwhelmingly, our kids, because we help to find them the right school to attend, because of the Christian formation that they've gone through here, are making wise decisions in places where some kids are not. Part of the mission is learning what the potentials are in a student, and once we identify them, how can we stretch that student? It usually just takes a nudge, right? I mean, these are things that the kids are good at doing and they love doing. They just need somebody to push them in the right direction, to say, you really ought to try this, give it a shot, or better yet, we really need help with something, and using that as the hook for them to actually not only help us, but really help themselves in a way too.